Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over and showing you how to install the Phoenix electric trailer tongue jack with remote. So one of the most notable features of this trailer jack has to be its speed. This is one of the fastest, if not the fastest, trailer tongue jacks on the market. Now in regards to that speed, if we assume a 1,000-pound tongue weight, this jack is going to be able to retract 6 inches in 18.7 seconds, and it's going to be able to extend 6 inches in 18.4 seconds. Now, those are just numbers. Let's go ahead and hook up to our truck to see how long it really takes. So we've got our trailer coupler at the height we would normally when we're just sitting at the campsite, and I've got my truck backed up here, pretty much centered with the bottom of the coupler. So now let's see how long it takes to lower the trailer onto the hitch ball there. So go ahead and start it now. So now our trailer is resting on the hitch ball now. It's not actually resting on the jack, and if you ask me, that was pretty fast, probably faster than any other jack I use. So definitely hearing all the numbers and stats is one thing, but being able to see real time how fast this thing's able to couple the trailer is really a game changer. But we were just going down there, and it's always a little bit faster to lower your jack than it is to raise it. So let's go ahead and uncouple now and see how long it takes us to get the trailer off. So we've got our latch open now. We'll go ahead and start the jack up. So there we have it, we're off the hitch ball now. The jack was pretty fast lifting as well. Now, granted, this is just a baseline test here. Your exact speed is really gonna vary largely depending on the tongue weight of your trailer and the hitch height of your vehicle. So another great notable feature of this jack that really sets it apart from some of the other options on the market is the included remote. So this remote is really handy because we can actually use this when we're sitting inside the cab of the truck. A lot of trucks have backup cameras nowadays, so you can actually back right up to your coupler there, and you can actually lower the trailer onto the coupler right there from the cab of your vehicle. So the remote is going to have pretty much all the same buttons we're going to have on our actual jack head here. So the only different one is the on-off button, so we're going to click that twice to turn it on. You can see that blue light, and now we can actually raise or retract the jack from the remote. We can also turn on the light feature, and then we have our memory settings as well. So we have all those same buttons on our jack head. So the memory settings are also unique to this jack here. They're going to allow you to go back to a previous setting that you've already selected. So let's say you have a storage lot that you park your trailer at, and you know exactly where you want the tongue jack at to get it level. You could store that as one of your settings, and then you could just hit that same setting to return to that height there when you park your trailer. So the list really goes on with this jack here. It's leading the class of trailer jacks in a lot of different categories. The weight capacity is one of them that it's definitely going to rank higher up there as. This particular jack has a 5,500 pound tongue weight rating. So when you're talking about trailer jacks and you're choosing one for your trailer, a lot of people get confused. They see the 5,500 pound rating and they think that's going to translate to the actual weight of their trailer. It does not. It translates strictly to the tongue weight. So the gross trailer weight is going to be how much your trailer weighs fully loaded, and then the tongue weight is going to be about 10 to 15% of that. You just need to make sure that your jack is rated appropriately for that tongue weight. Now, chances are most of your trailers are going to come well in under that 5,500 pound rating, and that's actually a great thing because the less stress you put on the jack, the lighter the trailer, the less hard it has to work and the longer it's going to last. And Ultra-Fab is very confident with that rating because they've given this jack one of the industry-leading warranties of 10 years. So if you guys are ever in an event where you don't have any power to your trailer battery or there's something wrong with the jack, you can still raise and lower your trailer with the manual override feature built in. So there's going to be a cap that you can unscrew up top there. And then our jack is actually going to come with a socket, so we can actually use a drill to manually raise and lower our jack in the event of power loss. So we do have a drop leg included with our jack, which is going to make it that much faster and easier to couple and uncouple your trailer. The 7-inch diameter pad here is also going to do a great job of preventing your jack from sinking in on those soft campsites. So in regards to the actual material constructions, everything underneath the frame here, our drop tube, our inner leg, those are all going to have a zinc coating there, so you're not going to have to worry about any rust issues. And then coming up to the top here, our outer tube and everything is going to have a black powder coated finish. This is going to, again, protect the metal underneath so it doesn't rust or corrode. And then our motor head is actually a nice durable plastic with plenty of built-in weather seals here to keep out water. So in regards to the total travel of this jack, it has quite a wide range. It's actually 26 inches, 21 without the drop leg. So there aren't many other jacks on the market that offer this much lift. So now we did show you briefly on the remote that you can operate the light, so you can operate it on the head as well. And if we take a closer look at that light, this light is very bright. There's actually 2 different rows of LEDs here. So this is not only going to assist us when we're coupling our trailer at night, it's also going to show pretty much everything around it. So you're going to be able to hook up your safety cables as well as manipulate your ball mount and hitch pin. This is a great bright light to have when you're hooking up your trailer at night. So now that we've gone over the jack a little bit, if you guys want to see us get it installed, stick around, we'll show you that now. So the first step of our installation, we need to remove our old A-frame jack. Now in order to do this, we're going to be using 2 sets of jack stands here, placing them under each frame rail on the trailer. And once I have the height set on those evenly, we can go ahead and lower our trailer onto those jacks. So now that we have our trailer supported here, we have all the weight off the jack, we can go ahead and remove the jack. Now the process to do this is going to vary a little bit depending on what type of jack you have. If you have a power tongue jack, then you'll need to disconnect the power first, or if you just have a manual jack, you can proceed to the next step. But if you do have a power jack, we'll go ahead and show you how to get that disconnected. The first step would be to remove power from the jack. So you could either take the power wire coming from the jack, trace it to the battery and unhook it there, or if your trailer has a battery disconnect like ours does, located over here, we can just engage the disconnect to shut power off to the jack. So here's our jack's power wire over here, and you can see it sort of loops down through here, and at this point here it goes into some factory duplex wire which goes straight to the battery. So we're going to go ahead and sever our connection around this area here. So with the power off, just go ahead, take some diagonal cutters and cut that wire. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to unbolt the jack from the trailer. Now all these are going to use an industry standard 3-bolt pattern, so just go ahead and take the appropriate socket size and remove these 3 bolts. You may or may not have nuts on the bottom of that plate, or there may actually be welded nuts onto the coupler. That's going to again vary by your exact installation. And now with all of our hardware removed, we should just be able to lift the jack up and off the trailer. Once you get the old jack off, it's a good idea to go ahead and clean up the mounting surface there just to get rid of any of that debris. And now that we have our old jack off, we can go ahead and install our new one. Keep in mind the drop leg needs to be off for this first step here, but we'll just go ahead and sit it into position on the coupler, drop it down into place, and then we're going to need to rotate this to line up our holes. And once we've done that, we can begin securing it. So we're going to be using the factory hardware that came equipped on the trailer. If you guys want to go out and get new hardware, you're welcome to do that as well. Now keep in mind, our coupler actually has weld nuts on that for these bolts here. A lot of the times they're actually going to be physically nuts underneath the coupler. Now we'll go ahead and tighten everything down. So now that we have everything secure, we can move on to our wiring. So this is a 2-wire jack. There's 2 different kinds. There's a 1-wire jack and there's 2-wire. The 1-wire jacks are going to have a power wire, and they're actually going to ground through the mounting flange. This is a 2-wire, so we have our black wire, which is the ground. That's going to go to the negative battery terminal. And then we have our red wire, which is power. That's going to go to the positive battery terminal. So now we can go ahead and take care of our wiring. The first wire we're going to hook up is the red power wire. This is going to go to the positive battery terminal. And then the black one is going to be going to the negative battery terminal. So what we're going to do now is we've got both of our wires. We're going to locate the battery on our trailer. So 9 times out of 10, your trailer battery, your auxiliary trailer battery, is going to be located up on the A-frame tongue, usually behind your propane tanks, and they almost always have a battery box on them. You can clearly see ours here. So we just went ahead and undid the strap already. Now we can just pull the cover off. And now you're going to be able to clearly see our battery with our positive and negative terminals. So let's go ahead and route our wires over to our battery is located so we can hook them up. So we've got our 2 wires routed over here where our battery is. So what we're going to do is we're going to be hooking up the red one first. So we're going to strip some of the jacket off that wire. And then we are going to attach a butt connector. So in order to install this jack, you are going to need a few miscellaneous wiring parts, such as some wire crimpers and strippers and some butt connectors and ring terminals. So we actually offer a kit here at etrailer that has everything you need that you can pick up with your jack. That way you have everything when it arrives at your door to install it that day. But once we've got a butt connector on there, we're going to take our fuse holder. So this actually comes as a loop. I just went ahead and cut that. One side is going to go to our butt connector, the other one's going to get a ring terminal. It does not matter which is which. I always like to twist the wire strange too after I've stripped them. That way they don't fray and cause short circuits. So now this other end is the one that's going to be getting the ring terminal. Now once I get it on there, we're going to go ahead and hook it up to our battery. So to the positive terminal, I need to take a socket and wrench and remove that nut on the top there. Now if you have a battery disconnect, you want to make sure that you wire the jack in line with that. But most of the time you're just going to be hooking it straight up to the positive terminal. Once we get it on there, we'll just re-secure our nut. So your battery may look a little bit different, so it may have a sort of different setup here, but most of them are fairly standard, so really shouldn't be too many variances there. We'll just go ahead and tighten this back down. Next we have our black power wire, so I'm going to go ahead and strip some of the jacket off that. And then we are going to crimp on another ring terminal. And then I'm going to be attaching this to the negative battery terminal post. So we're just going to be doing the same thing we just showed you, but on the other terminal. Make sure we go ahead and tighten that back down. Now we'll go ahead and reinstall our battery cover here, and then we can test the jack. So now that verified we have power, I'm just going to come up here, hit our light button. You can see our light kicks on, so that's verified our jack is working correctly. So now that we have power to our jack, we're just going to go ahead and take our drop leg and install this into the inner tube. And now we're ready to lift the trailer off the jacks and onto our jack stand. And now with everything hooked up and working correctly, that's going to do it today for our look and installation of the Phoenix electric trailer tongue jack with remote.